through 12th grade. They included both new and experienced teachers and teachers in high and low income areas. 71% of the teachers said they believe students' use of entertainment media has reduced their ability to pay attention in class. And almost 60% said it has hurt their writing skills. Many teachers said they believe their students' media use has also hurt their social development. They said the biggest problem was that media negatively affected students' ideas about relationships between the sexes and toward parents and teachers. They said media use encourages aggression and antisocial behavior. Teachers who believed media use harms social development were more likely to describe themselves as uncomfortable with new technologies. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laurel Bowman.
VOA Learning English. This is education in special English. Teachers say the digital age has been both a good and bad influence on this generation of American teenagers. More than 2,000 middle and high school teachers took an online survey. Researchers also spoke with teachers in focus groups. 3/4 of the teachers said the internet and digital search tools have had a mostly positive effect on their students' research habits and skills. But 87% agreed that these technologies are creating an easily distracted generation with short attention spans. And 64% said the technologies do more to distract students than to help them academically. Many students think doing research now means just doing a quick search on Google. The Pew Internet Project did the survey with the College Board and the National Writing Project. A majority of the teachers came from advanced placement classes, which provide college-level work for high school students. Judy Buchanan is with the National Writing Project and a co-author of the report. She says digital research tools are helping students learn more and learn faster. But one problem the survey found is that many students are lacking in digital literacy. In other words, they trust too much of the information they find on the internet. Judy Buchanan says these students have not developed the skills they need to judge the quality or credibility of online information. They also say being able to quickly find information online hurts their students' ability to work hard to find answers. Many teachers are also concerned that the internet makes it easy for students to copy work done by others instead of using their own abilities. For VOA Learning English, I'm Carolyn Presutti. VOA Special English Education Report. Congress is studying how to change immigration policies in an effort to get more foreign students to stay and work in the United States. Many foreign students come for advanced degrees in science, technology, engineering, and math. But many are unable to get a visa to live and work here after they graduate. In 2009, foreign students earned up to 2/3 of the physics and engineering doctorates awarded by American colleges and universities. Xiao Qin from Beijing is studying for a PhD in computer science at Georgetown University in Washington. He says, "Obviously, we prefer to stay here for several years, but if we cannot get any valid visa, we have to leave." So far, no agreement has been reached on how to stop this so-called reverse brain drain. The loss of highly skilled workers usually involves developing countries losing them to wealthier ones. Critics say American immigration policies are too restrictive. Representative Zoe Lofgren is a Democrat who represents parts of Silicon Valley in California. She spoke at a recent congressional hearing. While we once asked the brightest minds in the world to come and make their homes here, we now turn them away. Having educated and trained the world's best students in our universities, we no longer welcome them to enrich this nation. Some companies, including Texas Instruments, say it can take 10 years for their foreign workers to become permanent residents. Darla Whitaker is a senior vice president at Texas Instruments. She says, "This is not sustainable. It hurts our company and our industry, and it places burdens and stresses on our employees." The United States limits the number of immigrants from other countries on a country-by-country basis. Students from countries with large populations generally have to wait the longest for a green card, or proof of permanent residency. A group called the National Foundation for American Policy says a highly skilled Indian worker could have to wait up to 70 years. Vivek Wawa studies immigrants who start their own companies. He says the United States needs to change its immigration policies. He says, if we don't keep these people, if we don't compete, we're going to lose. We're going to become a third world country, and they're going to become like us. For VOA Special English, I'm Carolyn Presutti. We have transcripts and MP3s of our programs, and now PDFs for e-readers at voaspecialenglish.com. A Special English Education Report. Electronic books have changed the way many people read for pleasure. Now, online textbooks are changing the way some students learn and some teachers teach. More than 175,000 students attend the public schools in Fairfax County, Virginia, outside Washington. Last year, the school system used digital books in 15 schools. This school year, middle schools and high schools changed from printed to electronic textbooks in their social studies classes. Luke Rosa is a history teacher at Falls Church High School. His students work on school laptop computers. He explains the idea to them this way. It's just like a regular textbook, except it's got it all online. Peter Noonan, an assistant superintendent of schools, says with electronic textbooks, publishers can quickly update the content. The world's changing consistently, and the online textbooks can change right along with the events that are happening. Online books also cost less than printed textbooks. Usually, it's in the neighborhood of between $50 and $70 to buy a textbook for each student, which adds up to roughly $8 million for all of our students in Fairfax County. We actually have purchased all of the online textbooks for our students for just under $6 million. Many students like the idea because it means they do not have to carry a textbook around. Also, they can write notes on their work and save the notes in their account. But one student complained that the internet connection does not always work. Social studies teacher Michael Bambara says the e-book he uses in his government class is better than a printed textbook. He likes the way it has materials for students with different reading levels. So a person can individualize their learning, and I can individualize their instruction. But the students also need internet access when they are not at school. About 10% of students in Fairfax County do not have a computer or online access at home. Public libraries in the county have free internet. There are also after-school computer labs as well as computer clubhouses supported by the county. Other school systems in the area are considering online textbooks. Officials in Prince George's County, Maryland, plan a test project next year. A survey showed that 40% of students there do not have computer access at home. We have a video about online textbooks at voaspecialenglish.com. For VOA Special English, I'm Carolyn Persutti. VOA Learning English, this is the Education Report in Special English. Lebanon is a nation of many religious groups. Shiites, Sunnis, Druze, Maronite and Coptic Christians, Jews, and others share the land. But often there is tension and sometimes violence. Over the years, the differences between the groups have made it hard for educators to write a unified national history. An agreement in 1989, called the Taif Accord, ended the 15-year Lebanese Civil War. The agreement called for the same civic education to be taught across the country. The goal was to increase national unity. But the effort to agree on one national history has failed. Most history textbooks in Lebanon stop in 1943, the year of Lebanese independence. The duty of teaching children about their country's recent history has fallen mainly on parents. That can increase divisions among the different groups. The Green Space School is an elementary school in Beirut. It is on the edge of Christian, Druze, and Shiite neighborhoods. The school's head, Maha Qasim, says these religious ties can make history lessons a source of disagreement. She says some lessons have to be changed to avoid arguments among the students. Syrian forces withdrew from Lebanon in 2005 after a 29-year occupation. A series of protests against the occupation led to the withdrawal. The protests were called the Cedar Revolution. But Lebanese